Let's go! Big Ten East champions, baby! Whoop
Woo!
whoop! Coming to you live on Saturday night.
Ah, so hyped, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, we had an interesting week, with the holiday and everything. So today was the day for the pod. So without further ado, I give you my two co-hosts, Craig Fisher
You.
and Josh Rodriguez. Let's
Hello.
do this. Let's do this, boys. We got
Uh,
a few headlines, not too many, but we got some headlines we want to chat about. And with this coming down to some few games left, we're gonna break down some matchups. So
oh yeah, for sure. And that's one of the headlines is just how fucking tight the standings are. I mean, even you're not out of it, Bren. Even
I,
though,
I was
you know.
talking about it a little bit with Justin. He'll get a kick out of this. He was texting me. He was trying to get me to trade again. And I was telling him fuck off, and I was like, stick a fork in me, I'm done. And he's like, you're not out. Don't give up.
Stick a fork in me.
Yeah, dude. I feel so cucked at times, and I don't know. Maybe there's some hope. I just got Kareem Hunt back. Maybe Saquon doesn't get held to like 50% usage. So
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you do need a little bit of help, but actually, you picked it up with your points for Bren, which helps you a lot when it comes to that. Because technically, like anyone who's 5-6 right now, you have a chance of tying if they lose the rest of their games and you win.
okay.
I think even 6-5 now that I think about it. Yeah, so even 6-5, so like even me. So then you would just have to worry about if you tied them points for, if you guys are tied for like the last spot out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But like I said, you picked yours up a lot to where that actually helps you. Where you just gotta hit that streak, man.
I
That's all.
do. I do.
I
And I
believe in
thought
you,
I
Brad.
was finding it, and then especially when he started Ryan Tannehill, and Tannehill went out and did shit. I was like, oh, this is good. And then fantasy did fantasy things, and Joe Burrow decides to put up 10 points, and
Right. Yeah.
he's only done that twice this year, but he's done a 7 and a 10, and I fucking have got him at the worst time.
Right.
Right.
Well, and it wasn't even one of those games where like, oh, he played awful. It was just Joe Mixon and shit kept getting the touchdowns. Like,
Gotcha.
so like that's another thing that's frustrating to where
Ugh,
like at least if the player plays bad, you're like, all right, it's his
right.
own fault. But like it's like kind of like that was Justin's gripe when a couple weeks ago, I think it was, or last week when Buffalo put up like 5 touchdowns and Josh Allen only got one of them.
Mhm.
So it's like it's frustrating when you do
It
that,
is.
when your
It is
players do that
definitely.
and stuff. But no, so
Mm.
yeah, these all these matchups are except for really with Shane, but even like Craig and Barber's matchup, that's huge for seeding.
Yeah, definitely.
That's for
Okay.
the number 2 seed right there.
Right. Yeah, I'm still worried about it too. Sitting at 7 is going to be hard
Or
to
actually, I don't
change.
know because is it still? I thought maybe now that I'm thinking about it, don't we have it set up where the winners of each division are the top 2 seeds, or is it just based on record purely? Don't matter division.
No, I think
Because if that's the case, then Craig, you can't get the 2 seed. You can only unless you take over first and Barber takes over the number 1 seed. But I don't
yeah,
know either
I
way.
can't remember how it's done.
Because
'Cause
I could have swore. Well, hold on. I know how to tell. Well, hold on. So who has more points? You or Barber? So you have more points. So let me go to the real quick the playoff bracket. So Barber should be 3, but he's the 2 seed. So it is the division leaders.
okay.
So whoever. So right now Barber would be the 2 seed, um, but yeah, no. So yeah, every matchup is going to be tight going forward. going to be a must-win pretty much for everyone to get
Yeah,
seeding
really
and
coming down
stuff
to
like
some
that.
must-wins for a lot of players, a lot of
Yeah,
people.
and that's where it's going to be interesting too to see if like Mac did. Mac made a trade because he said he needed to change something up. So like, are more of these middle of the pack people going to do that?
Okay, gotcha. I mean, Darren Waller did get hurt, so.
I was gonna say, what the fuck? That
Yeah,
sucks.
I mean, you can't
But
predict that.
I mean, that kind of brings us into our next segment, which was or our next
Right.
title, next headline.
Which is, what the fuck is up with all these injuries, man?
Fucking
Like,
injuries left and right.
and because Craig, you had said off air, I guess, quote unquote, like, what injuries are you talking about? I was kind of more, when I made the headline, was just referring to like all year. Like, it just seems like injuries are coming
Yeah,
left and right, and it
Yeah,
really
it
has affected this year.
yeah, it happens every year, but it just I don't know. Like you said, it just feels
it does happen
in the
every year.
moment. It
It
feels rough.
yeah. I was gonna say, I think it's definitely getting worse each year for some reason. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's the turf or whatnot. It seems to be, or just the intensity at which players play each year.
Mm.
The amount of PEDs that are you allowed to pass through legally. Who knows? But like, yeah, every year it gets worse and worse unless you're a quarterback. And basically, I have zero sympathy though because I don't really have any injuries this year, and I've had like the last 2 years prior just a fucking like basically a Bren situation where my whole team's injured. So no sympathy
yeah,
from me. No sympathy from me. These guys have unlimited waivers to mess around with us.
right. Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I didn't put that title for sympathy from anyone, like for myself or for other people. I was just saying, like, it is. It's just crazy because I feel like too. It's been hard for people. Like I said, outside of Shane, I think Craig, you went on a little winning streak, and Barber had one for a while there. But like, it's been hard for people to get more than like 2 wins in a row. You know what I mean? And that's a big part of it is their key players getting injured, and a lot of times multiple of them. And I think one thing that's had a huge kind of effect on it is last year for COVID, the NFL changed the IR rule where, I don't know if you guys remember, but when a player would be put on IR, it was for, I think, 6 weeks or 8 weeks, something like
I
that.
thought it was 8. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 weeks, and then they would. But then for COVID, they changed it to the 3 week rule, and so
Hmm.
now teams are utilizing that a lot more, where they're like, "Hey, just get healthy. We'll lose you for 3 games, and then come back healthy." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
think that's had a huge effect on it too, where the teams are more willing to just put a player on IR.
I
Right.
have heard like rumors about like teams and players who aren't actually injured being in a situation where they'd rather be able to rest the player for 3 weeks like that.
Right. Well, and especially if you're someone like, say, the Titans, who, I don't want to say they locked up a spot, but they're looking pretty good for a playoff spot. So then you want to just, like you said, okay, I can rest you up for 3 weeks and
Yeah,
have
like,
you
oh,
back for the
AJ
playoffs.
Brown. Yeah, like go get
Yeah,
healthy. Like here's a 3 week rest.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that makes it hard too on fantasy. Like I said, I just feel like teams are getting hit, and when I say teams, I mean fantasy teams are getting hit, like multiple players at a time are, oh, this person's out for 2, 3 weeks. You have 3 players out for 3 weeks or whatever. 3 players out this week. Like, it's just happening nonstop, I feel like. It's
Yep.
just, and like I said, I know last year was crazy. I know other years, I feel like we do say that every year, that it's getting worse and worse, but I don't know. It just feels more. And then I guess too, it doesn't help when you have the actual like COVID situation of, players contacting it or being close contacts and stuff like that. Like, that doesn't help it either.
Right.
No, yeah,
So
I would agree.
it's just made this year a little more interesting. And uh, Brandon, I don't know, did this change your mind at all for unlimited waivers with all
No,
the
not
you,
one
st-
bit.
you still would have wanted 35
Although
waivers?
I don't feel like having unlimited waivers has hindered the league in any way. Like
Right.
I still have my issues with it or whatever, but um, the fact of the matter is the people who are hot on it, whether we minimize the amount you can pick up or keep it unlimited, they're still going to be on top of it. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
No, and that's fair.
America, America. I don't know the
So
rest
and
of
then
the song.
our
Oh,
last
you need it, dude. That was beautiful.
yeah, just keep singing, Craig. I mean, you could be like our background music, Craig.
Nice, dude. I'll warm up the
But
beatbox a bit for you.
our last headline, since it's Saturday, is of course "Go Blue." Hail to the victors, Michigan,
Did they
to
win?
the valiant.
I thought
Oh
Ohio
yeah,
State won.
no, fuck
Man,
Ohio
Ohio State
State.
lost. Those refs hate us, man. Shit.
Well, I don't know if you saw
I hate you, Craig.
Roll Tide.
there was a ref in the, I think it was the 2016 the JT was short game. Uh, that he had a bias towards Ohio State, and they still let him ref. He ref this game as well.
Oh.
They still, yeah, they still let him ref this game, but
Of course, that's an article we found. Why wouldn't it be? Goodness gracious.
oh, it's not an article we found. It's just facts. I mean,
It's just facts. Hey, I
tried
gotta
and
say
true.
props, dude. Props to Michigan. That was I didn't think it was gonna happen. I was talking to Nate last
Right.
night. I'm like, dude, after the whooping they put on Michigan State, they're gonna go out there and blow them out by like 25 plus
Right.
points.
No, see,
And
I didn't think that. I thought it was going to be a close game. I
yeah,
thought this.
Vegas' line had it at like what 7-5 between 7-5 and 9 basically. So I
I
mean,
think, yeah,
those are
yep,
smarter people than me. So I was kind of curious why it was so close, but
right. Well, all year, like I just felt like this team was different. To where I thought, like I said, I didn't know if they were going to win, but I thought they wouldn't get blown out. You know what I mean?
sure.
And so Brent and I were kind of talking about it right before you got on, Craig. About I asked him when he was kind of comfortable thinking that we were going to win. He was like, not till there was like 3 minutes left in the game.
Right.
And like I agree with that because like I started like getting my hopes up after we stopped them on the first drive of the second
Yep.
half, and then we
Oh, I
went
thought you
down and
said the first
scored.
drive.
Well, not even the first drive, but then they got up 10-7 at one point, and
Yeah.
then so even going into half at 14-13, like we've been close before, and then the second half they just blow us out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was so weird because like we stopped them in the first drive of the second half. We got our touchdown, and then we stopped them again. And I had like a moment of like fear of just like they're gonna blow this for no reason.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Ohio State hadn't even done nothing, and I just had that fear of like
Oh
they're
well,
gonna blow it.
past history would give you good enough reason.
Well,
Don't
right,
worry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's why it was from the past, but still, like Ohio State wasn't driving or nothing at the time to like, you know what
Right.
I mean,
Oh, for
to
sure.
threaten it. So I was just like, man. But then yeah, as like that second half was going on, Ohio State just couldn't stop us. I
No.
mean, to where even though they got hot a little bit at the end there, like Justin was pissed that they scored, but I'm like, dude, that drive was 16 plays and took like 7 minutes. Like that's good for us. Like we were up 2 touchdowns. Like if they're gonna score, that's what we want is them to take 7 minutes off the clock, not a minute 50
Yeah.
and stuff. So, but yeah, no. So that was it was emotional. Just because like I said, up until about 3 minutes, you were like, don't blow this, don't blow, don't blow
don't,
this, man.
don't you do this to me.
Right. And so, we're going to our first Big Ten championship game facing Iowa, which, like I said, I would rather face Iowa than Wisconsin. So I'm happy about that. And I think we got a great shot to make the playoffs. Like as long
All
as we
right.
win against Iowa, we'll make the playoffs, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely. Come on.
I am
Easy.
excited to listen to local sports talk radio starting Monday.
Oh, I will. I haven't
I'm
listened to
really
them.
excited.
I haven't listened to them in a while just because, the Lions, and then it's like they say the same stuff about Michigan and Michigan State up until the games are played. So if nothing really changes on that aspect, I don't really watch it or listen to them. But I'm
I
definitely
just
going to listen to them now just to listen to them
I could care
talk
less
about
about
Michigan.
the host. I just like to hear all the fans call in. It's gonna be great.
Right.
It's gonna be all sorts of great.
For sure.
So, but yeah. So this was Turkey week. So how was your guys' Thanksgiving?
Muy
Wonderful.
bueno.
Wonderful. That's for sure.
You guys do anything exciting or?
No. I was supposed to bring sweet potato casserole. I, of course, chose not to cook at all and just went and bought
Classic.
a sweet potato pie.
Same thing.
And then what was even funnier was my mom was technically prepared for it. She actually like had the ingredients and stuff herself to cook it or whatever. And I was like, no,
uh-huh.
no, we're fine.
Being
I
salty.
didn't do it. It's my fault. We'll move on.
Right, I'll
But
take
yeah, it
that
was pretty
blame.
funny.
Yeah, I
What
did.
about you,
I just
Craig?
chilled. Thursday we went over to Kelsey's parents. Did Thanksgiving over there. That was nice. Got to
Nice.
see everybody, and then yeah, I think today. Yeah, obviously I'm not thinking, but today we did Thanksgiving at my parents' house, so gotta love two sets of leftovers. Got plenty of
Nice.
food. Except my mom made lasagna this year for fucking
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
for
And
Thanksgiving.
normally I'd be like, what the fuck? But it was bomb ass lasagna, so I'm excited to have.
You can't complain about
No,
that.
not at all. I'm excited to have some later. So yeah, it was good.
Nice.
How about yourself? You have a good Thanksgiving, Josh?
Yeah, it was good. It was a stressful week. So as you guys know, I didn't have a phone for a while, and so that was some dumb shit, man. We on Sunday we went to go switch over to Spectrum Mobile from Xfinity Mobile, and apparently when you leave Xfinity Mobile, they lock your phone. And then so I had to call to unlock my phone, and they're like, "Oh well, the people that do that aren't in until tomorrow because it was Sunday at the time." And they're like, "So they'll get back to you in 24 to 48 hours with the codes to unlock your phone." And I was like, "Okay." And then I waited till Wednesday, called the guy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well I just put in another order." I was like, "Well, people already put in an order and fucking I've already waited almost 72 hours." And he's like, well, since I put in another order, you have to wait another 24 to 48 hours. And I was like, are you fucking
What
kidding
a
me right now?
Nazi ass company, dude. What is that?
So, long story short, I ended up bitching him out and didn't get anywhere with him. And but then the phones came on like right before on Thanksgiving, like right before we left. We went over to Melanie's house and had it with her family. Spent the day over there, and then like I said, on Friday I had my family over because we have this tradition where we take like the leftover turkey, and on Friday we make them into turkey tacos. You just saute the Yeah,
Turkey
you just
tacos.
saute the turkey and some butter with some seasoning salt and some
Yeah,
onions and celery and stuff. Put it in a fried up tortilla, and
that sounds
you know,
fun,
Dude, that sounds
yeah. So
delicious.
that's a little
right?
tradition we have. So I've been ever since my grandma passed, the last couple of years I've done it.
Heck
I've
yeah.
made the turkey. So like this year though, I made like a whole turkey and like had all that meat specifically for the tacos.
Oh, okay.
And so like I've
Nice.
never done that before, so I like didn't know what size turkey to buy. And so I bought a fucking 17-pounder,
Hell yeah,
and
brother.
so we have a shit ton of turkey left over
Dude,
from
that's so
that.
awesome. Bro, the best
And
thing you
then,
do, take some of that turkey. Kelsey thinks I'm crazy, but you take some of that turkey, you put it on thick ass butter or white bread, right? And then you just sprinkle
mhm.
some salt on it. Just eat it
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I mean,
Like
really,
Mm-hmm.
that's basically
bomb.com.
what we do with turkey tacos. It's just you
Right?
cook
It's
it,
true.
So,
Yo,
but yeah, no.
real
So
quick. What's
go
what's
ahead.
your boys' favorite Thanksgiving side dish? Now it's all said and done.
The
Oof.
sweet potato casserole.
My man, I love that shit. It's bomb.
No, I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I don't like sweet potatoes.
Ooh, you're missing out.
I don't think anything beats stuffing. I have to go with stuffing, unfortunately.
Stuffing is good.
Yeah.
My family does like a homemade style, and it's
Hell
really well
yeah, that's the
done.
best.
Yeah.
I don't know what mine is, honestly. I like a lot of things, so like I don't know if I have a favorite.
Like
You're
for me,
allowed to
what's
like it.
funny
You're
is my least favorite part is the turkey. I like the sides way more than the turkey.
I did promise. It's weird. And once you have a kid and shit changes, it's like you have, this. I'm like I have to learn how to cook a turkey for my
Yeah.
family because I'm a man. And so, like, next year I'm going to attempt to cook a turkey. I'll do
Yeah,
some
I did it.
practice runs this year.
I
But
did that this year, and it was.
did you brine it
It's
and
not.
everything?
Did I what?
Brine it and anything like that? Do anything like that? I don't
No.
fucking know. I just what my
It's
brother-in-law was telling me
there's
I need to do.
so
I'm like,
many ways to do
right?
it.
Right.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I
Well,
don't
like
know which way is the best either.
so like my mom, what she told me that they do is, you gotta take the what is it, the gizzards or whatever out
Yeah.
and shit,
Oh
the like
yeah.
little ball things, and then she's like, and then I guess she like pours pop in there and cooks
Oh
it
yeah.
in pop and stuff.
Okay.
But I forgot to buy the fucking pop to cook it in, so I ended up cooking it in water, which was fine, but it didn't like have any of the flavor. So like my turkey came out fine, but it just didn't have any flavor to it.
Sure.
It just
Sure. Yeah.
came out a bland turkey. So that's a learning experience to make sure I have whatever I'm going to flavor it with present.
Root beer, baby. Put some root beer. Get some root beer turkey.
I think they do Verner's.
Oh, that's probably bomb.com, dude.
So I think that's probably what I'm going to try next year. But yeah, no, I definitely want to become, the dad that cooks the turkey.
It seems iconic, and it's like a natural instinct, and
Right.
struggle.
But yeah, I was big on desserts this year. I made all my family like tradition stuff. So like we make strawberry shortcake, but we make it different. We take angel food cake and we just like tear it up and make it as a base, cut up strawberries and then pour like strawberry jello
Oh
and
yeah.
then just put it in the fridge and then that's our strawberry shortcakes. So like
Stop!
I
You're
did
getting me
that.
hard. You're getting me
I was
so
gonna
fucking
say
hard
that
over here.
sounds good too right now.
Oh my
Son of a
god.
And then
bitch.
I made munuelos, which is just fried up tortillas. Once you take them out of the oil, you sprinkle cinnamon sugar on them, and then let them sit for a minute to harden, and you just take the crunch, man. Got to hear that crunch, man.
Mm-hmm.
Bro,
It's so good.
we need to have some type of Friendsgiving in the future where Josh
Dude,
brings
a
all this
lot of
Mexican food
people
over.
do a solid Friendsgiving, and
Friendsgiving, yeah.
we could do one. That's for sure.
Well,
Like
let's
we
I'd
got
decide
be
the
that we're
group
down
going.
to do it.
I want
for
every
all the
single
guys.
Mexican thing you just said, Josh. Those are
Right.
Right.
I
that
want
sounded
all of
delicious.
those.
I would make them for you guys. Don't you worry. I'll even make the turkey tacos. Like we won't have to have a full turkey. I'll make turkey tacos for you guys, for
Yeah.
everyone.
There we go.
So yeah, let's get everybody listening. Let's get this figured out for next year. Let's start now. No one us.
I'm not hosting this year or next year. Not it.
we
That's
can
the
we can
thing is finding someone who's willing to host.
we'll probably, as long as we're like all painted up and stuff like that, we'll probably be willing to host. So
Okay.
not making any promises or
As I say,
anything,
why don't you
but
wait till you talk to Melanie about that one?
yeah, I haven't talked to. Hey, well, but by the way, though,
By
did
the way,
anybody
I
else?
signed us up.
Yeah.
You got like 20 people coming over. It's gonna be great.
Did anybody else get called out for? I fucking so we're sitting there eating at Thanksgiving right at our family's house, and so I like to take the dinner roll and I like to make a sandwich out of like the turkey, the mashed potatoes, and gravy and stuffing and stuff. Like I'll make a sandwich out
Genius.
of it, right?
Absolute genius.
Sure.
And so they're passing around the rolls, and they were like, "How many rolls you want?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll take two." Melody's like, "You're having two rolls?" I was like, "Jeez."
Oh,
Like,
jeez.
no, not anymore. Jeez. Like
Fat
nothing
shaming me
like
on Thanksgiving? That's
right. Nothing
rude.
like calling me out on Thanksgiving. Like, jeez.
I have no shame. I always just say, yeah, I'm fucking eating too. Like, get
Well,
out.
that's what I said. I was like, yeah, I want two. But inside I was crying.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, then that's a man. You're a man. That's all that matters.
Right, exactly. So
You're doing it right.
You're a man. You're doing it right. You keep that crying on the inside, you pussy. Like,
Yeah.
right.
No one wants a faggot out here crying.
So, all right, so we didn't have anyone. We weren't going to do the put them on blast segment, right? This week.
no, nobody really to put on blast.
Yeah. So, do we want to just go straight into
Fine.
matchups and then just spend a little extra time on those?
Yeah, I think it's time to break some matchups down.
All
I
right.
like it. I like it.
Let's do that. Let me pull up the picks real quick. Yeah, Bren. Last week was a rough week for you. You went 1-4 in picks.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do much better. I went 2-3. Craig
Some
had a
bullshit.
phenomenal week at 4-1, and then
What the fuck?
Ike was 3-2. So we had pretty much every. Go ahead.
Like,
No, you're good. I was going to say something stupid.
Say it.
I was gonna say I stopped listening to my heart and I played the metrics, baby. I moneyballed the shit out of last week.
Yeah,
okay.
that's fair.
And
Yeah.
take the
That
heart
helps.
out of it.
So the overall standings.
Shane would be proud of you.
Yeah,
Right.
literally did it for Shane.
Oh, I should give him the stats on why I'm the most dominant champ ever, but I'll save it. I won't bore you guys
Keep
with
that in the
those.
back pocket for when you really mad at
Oh,
somebody.
I've been waiting for a time to fucking put these.
Got him tattooed on your forearm, ready to
Pretty
spit him
much.
out.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Bren, you're in last at 24-31 for picks. Ike and I are tied for second to last with 25-30, and then Craig, you're in first at 26-29. So,
Steph Curry, get at me, dude.
still not a good. No one's over 500, so no one's even
That's true.
500. So, all right, let's get into these matchups. So we can start with myself and Dan.
The calfless losers and hold my poodle.
Yeah, did you guys know that before I said
Not
what it
at all.
was?
I'm glad you
Not at
said
all.
something. I was scared to say anything. I wasn't going to ask what was going on with it because I didn't know, but I'm glad someone else did and I got clarification.
Although the way Shane asked it, he was a complete douche. Explain yourself, Josh. Like, fuck you. I don't have to explain nothing to you if I don't want
Shane's
to.
on a real power trip right now with this record he's
Dude,
got.
yeah.
He's probably walking around with his dick
I
out
was
in his house
dying
all day.
laughing when you slammed him on the bowling thing. Oh my god. I think I was 10 years old when I bowled a 180 last.
Got him.
Well, I've been telling Melanie too. I'm like, hey, I want to go bowling because, like, I
Yeah.
miss it. I miss bowling and stuff. And then, but just with moving, and then we weren't able to leave Ike and stuff, so it was hard. And then COVID and shit. But yeah, I was like, yeah. Last time I did that, I was like 10, motherfucker. Like, get on my level.
Like that
But
fucking picture of the news with you looking like a goddamn superstar out there, dude.
oh my god, dude,
Fucking
Melanie got so wet from that.
dude, I got wet looking at that. I
I was
understand.
gonna say you could have had your choice.
She had me reenact that, but I was naked. It was
Nice.
glorious.
Nice.
It was
Pulling
glorious.
hammies out there with that formula.
Oh, I had that for sure. I definitely pulled a hammy when I did that naked.
Well, I can't believe why is
Down
Matt
goes
Breda
the
being run, dude?
superstar. It's going to the 3-week IR after that
Yeah,
Rest them up.
babe, I can't do no cooking, no nothing for 3 weeks. I'm on
Nothing.
IR.
He's on the IR.
All right, let's get to these matchups. Otherwise, this will be
Bro,
a
why is
podcast
Matt
for
Breda? See, I
nonsense.
don't. I've been so busy, and why is Matt Breda in his lineup? Is both the running backs down? Is what's going on?
Why
Well,
was
just
Dak Prescott not in his lineup is the question.
I think he was scared, and I'm not saying like of me. Obviously, I'm
I
just
was
saying
talking to
like,
him. He was talking to me about that. I think it was mainly because you just run the risk of if Dallas has a bad game, then two players on his team end up doing bad.
yeah,
You're splitting the games up between,
Oh, okay.
because if Dak
yeah,
Prescott goes out on Thanksgiving and has a shitty game, then Gallups probably having a shitty game. And then he
yeah.
has two
I mean,
players.
my only counter to that would have been like, especially since he's playing Cam Newton,
Bro,
like
hindsight's
Cam.
2020.
Well,
You're
no, but I'm just
crazy.
saying like even before Dak did that, I would have. I mean, I wouldn't have told him because he's facing me, but like if I wasn't facing him and he had that dilemma, I would have just said like, yeah, but Dak has or Cam has just as much chance of putting up a dud.
Dud.
Yeah, but you're
And you
taking
start your studs. That's the
Right,
rule.
exactly. Like you start
That's
your
the
Dak
rule.
studs,
Prescott a stud
But
though. Like,
so we'll see.
I think even Shane would argue that he's a stud.
Oh my goodness!
But as long as Cam gets him, I think. Oh, because I mean, Dak did only get 27.3, so it's not like he got 40. You know.
Right? Yeah, could have had a 40-pointer,
So,
sure.
so like really, if Cam gets anything over 20, like if he gets like 23, 24, it's pretty much a wash.
Sure.
You know,
Right.
unless he ends up losing by that difference, then yeah, you could beat yourself up. But we just feel like you said, it's hindsight's 2020. We just gotta wait to see what Cam does, and in the
Yeah, I
end,
think
it might not even matter.
Cam has
True.
a good right. I mean, I think Cam has a good shot of at least. He's always going to run one in. He's always going to poach one, let alone
Yeah,
throw
but
one.
I mean, look at last year in New England. He had his first like 2 3 weeks were like on fire, and then after that he was crap. So
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not
not an every week starter. He's definitely, but versus Miami's all right, but not an every week
right,
starter. I'd agree. Definitely. If the matchup's right.
right. So, and I mean, Miami has been playing better defense lately, so that's why it might be a little more of a risk. But
And Prescott is
we never know,
game as well. You gotta be careful.
right? So, but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be. I got an uphill battle with Swift getting injured. I mean, right now that's kind of the difference in our game.
Bro, I was literally gonna send you a banger for DeAndre Swift. When was it? It was Thursday morning or Wednesday, and I'm so glad I didn't. Because
Oh, what was it?
I knew it wasn't gonna process before he played, and I'm like, dude, my luck, he'll go out and get fucking injured halfway through the game, and Josh will accept the trade while I'm not paying attention, and I'll have an
No,
injured DeAndre
I wouldn't
Swift.
do. Look what I did with Barber earlier this year. I wouldn't do that
Right.
to you. I'm not Shane slash Dan. You know, Isn't that? If that I wouldn't accept it, or if I had accepted it, I'd give you the option to rescind it. Like I wouldn't do that. What was it though? I'm curious.
Was that sorry?
What was it? What was the trade?
Um, it was like Marquise Brown and something for DeAndre Swift. It was Brown and something else because you wanted
I would have
receivers.
thought about it. I mean,
It would have been
he's
money,
day
dude.
to day, so I'm not saying like you have to send it or anything, but I'm just saying he's only day to day. So if anything,
Yeah,
he
but
might
I was
miss
also
like a week.
I was one of those things where it's like, dude, my team can win a championship if they all perform. So like, I don't want to start getting
Yeah,
like
you don't want to
in an
overthink
ideal
it.
right in an ideal world, would I want DeAndre Swift at my flex? Yeah, but then I don't want to I don't really want to be starting Lockett and shit like that if I don't have to and depend on.
Yeah,
So it just would put me in a
right.
more difficult position in wide receiver. So I'm just gonna keep my shit
Yeah.
the way it is and hope for the best. But
So,
unless
but yeah,
somebody,
no, I'm gonna need. I don't even know if I'm gonna start Arnold at tight end. I've been going back and forth the last fucking 2 days if I'm picking someone up and who I'm picking up and all this stuff. It's like because you got players like Evan Ingram who has a fucking great matchup, but he's Evan Ingram.
right?
Right.
So I don't know if I want to trust him. You got like the Tyler Higbee where it's like all year, even if he gets a touchdown, he's still only putting up like 11 points. I was so pissed at myself. I wanted to pick up Dawson Knox. I cowered out, and he ended up having a great. I mean, I shouldn't say great. He had 3 catches for like 30 yards and 2 touchdowns, so he got 16 points. But I was pissed about that. So yeah, I don't know. That spot might change. I mean, I did pick up Hooper. Might pick up Hooper or play Hooper because all their wide receivers are fucking injured. But then, do I want to trust Baker Mayfield? You know, so I got an uphill battle. I need a couple of his duds like McLaurin or Thielen to kind of have a dud. You know, even it out, or Lamar to get me like 40. That would help. So I mean,
Right.
obviously, I have to pick myself, but or I guess I should. You don't
Yeah, I
have
think
to.
I'm gonna go with Dan. With this is obviously due to the start he's had. I would say if like I said, if he hadn't already played, and I would looked at Michael Gallup and Matt Breida, like
Yeah.
they literally probably hit what their ceiling would probably be.
Right.
Close,
Well, and two,
close
it
to,
pissed me off because like Breda got that touchdown, and like he only had like 4 points until the last drive of the game, and then he got
right.
that, and then Gallup was like the same way. Like late in the fourth quarter, he had like 60 yards and like 3 catches or something like that. To where it was like, really, one of you couldn't have just stayed sucking,
Right. I mean, at least
like, come
Mooney
on,
got you 15 points, which is obviously really nice to see Mooney get you
right?
15. But DeAndre Swift getting hurt and sitting at 2.4. I
Yeah,
think
because
that's
like
really
even
bad
if he gets
for
me
you.
like to 10, like even if he gets 10 points total Swift
Yeah,
in the game, like
like
you know
something like
that
that would
puts
have been
us.
better. Anything would have been better than that because I would have like
Well,
initially pulled the
obviously,
scores. I'd
yeah,
be like, oh well, that's like you win out running back, but not at
right.
that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of I don't OBJ and the Rams is I think just toss up coin flip. I think someone like Antonio Brown's way more you know
Well,
solidified as Tom Brady.
Antonio Brown's out, so I
No, I know.
can't
I was
play
just
him.
saying, like in comparison, like
Right.
I don't like OBJ out there. I think he's kind of a coin flip, and whoever
Yeah,
you
well,
get,
I mean, if you look on the waiver wire, like everybody else who's on the waiver wire is pretty much the same way.
oh
You
yeah,
know
no,
what I mean? So
100%.
at least like with him, I'm picking up. I'm hoping he's going to be more involved in the offense.
Hopefully,
Hopefully should be a high scoring game.
yeah, Green Bay,
So
yeah, for sure.
right, so that's kind of what I'm banking on. And like I said, I'm having Kamara and Ingram hurt, having AB hurt, no Ridley, Kadarius Tony's probably not going to play. So like, like I said, my options are just like
Right,
out the window right now, and it's like, do I really want to drop some of these players just to pick someone else who's just as much of a coin flip as OBJ? You
right,
know,
100%.
and at that point, I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
So
your team still doesn't look that bad. If they perform, I think it's gonna be a close one. I mean,
right,
so
yeah, and like you said, Mooney getting that 15 really helped me because if
yeah.
he gets like 8,
So
I'm in really bad shape if he gets like 8. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Swift. I just the
So
Swift thing really hurts you. So I don't have to bet against you this week.
that's fine. I totally understand that.
If
Bren,
it was prior, I would be like, nah.
Yeah,
B man.
this is a
Oh,
close one. Um, I'm leaning towards you, Josh. I think that somehow you managed to pull it back. I'm still worried about the Cam Newton start for Dan. I think that was a mistake, and
Get him
I think he's definitely like Craig. You were saying, I think he hit the ceiling of two of those players that he filled in. So
for sure.
that's kind of huge for him. He could just end up, basically putting 10 points in every other position
Be
and have
fine.
a wonderful week and
Yeah.
pull it off. Because the injury to DeAndre Swift really puts you behind the 8 ball. But um, I like your lineup and what you've made it to be this week, Josh. I think it's pretty solid. Eagles are
well,
hot
thank
as
you.
fuck.
They are hot. Eagles are
Yeah,
hot.
I like the Dan Arnold start. If he's what happened last week to him though, I didn't
it was
understand.
just one of those random weeks. I mean, if you look prior to that, he was constantly
He's
getting 8
constantly
He
right
just
around
looked,
targets.
he looked like a
Yeah,
receiver out there the way they were utilizing him for sure.
right.
Right.
So
It was just one of those weeks, and like if I'm
he
not
might.
mistaken, like San Fran, like I think their first drive they had the ball for like 11 minutes or some shit like that. Like in the first quarter they only ran Jacksonville like 3 plays or something like that. Like it was just crazy. Like San Fran had just crazy ball control that game. So like
Gotcha.
I heard a stat that Jacksonville usually runs like 68 plays a game or something like that, or they average that. In
Hmm.
that game, they only ran 44. So like
Okay.
that's a huge difference. You know what I mean? So I just
Sure.
think that just that, and it's hard to get stuff going when you're out of sync like that.
Yep.
So,
I think
but
him and Odell are going to be two huge pieces this week for you. I
yeah,
think
I
if
mean, because
Lamar does put up 30, 40 points and Cam Newton shits the bed though, you're in a great spot for a comeback. So
yeah,
I'm
that'd be
gonna
where
pick
I can
you.
Very
make it
true.
up.
Very true.
Yeah, that'd be where I can
And
make
you
it
got
up.
Leonard Fournette and Deontay Johnson. Those are very consistent players, so that helps as well.
Because I
Right.
know Cam Newton last week was taking his helmet off, shouting, "I'm back," and I was sitting there going, "No, you're not."
Brennan clearly just hates Cam Newton. This
I
is
do.
a biased opinion. Opinions should
I
not be biased.
enjoyed watching him get shit on in the Super Bowl against the Broncos, and I'm gonna enjoy watching Dan
Dude,
lose because he
Kelsey
played
would
him.
love you. Kelsey hates Cam Newton because he said something sexist one year and she never let it go.
That's
I hate
Melanie
him
with
too because of that. What a
Yeah.
sexist pig.
that's Melanie with Antonio Brown. Melanie hates Antonio Brown.
Yep,
Oh yeah,
similar situation. Yep.
Yeah,
I can
and she hates
imagine.
Travis Kelsey for some reason. She says he looks like a douche. So
His dick's too big. Clearly.
Yeah, that might be that he's got a huge dick. Yeah,
Yeah, probably.
I don't think
She's
there's
like,
anything wrong with Kelsey. I think he's a
right,
nice
she's like,
guy.
I'm just gonna have to suck it. I hate it. It's ridiculous, you know.
Right? I feel your pain, Melanie. I feel your pain.
So no, but no, with the whole Arnold thing though, I just wonder, like, because I'm behind now, if because he with that offense, like, I think I heard in the last 4 games, Trevor Lawrence only has 1 passing touchdown. That's it.
Okay,
So like their ceiling isn't that high. So like I'm just wondering if I need more of a boom play at tight end, like more of a
gotcha.
boom or bust play. You know what I mean? So that's what I got to weigh if I want to count on that. Hopefully 6 to maybe 10 points from Arnold, or if I want to go someone that can pull a Dawson Knox and get 2 touchdowns, even if they only get 40 yards. You know?
Right.
So yeah, that's all I got to think about. Um, but yeah, so you went. So you went me. I
Mm-hmm.
went me. Craig and Ike went Dan.
Okay.
So
Woof woof, motherfucker.
all right, so let's go to Justin and Shane.
Justin and
I would
Shane.
like to start off this one by saying I'm going to
Yes.
watch Home Alone 2 tomorrow for my sins. Sorry, Shane. I underutilize it. It's a great movie, and I never watched it enough. I'll watch it tomorrow.
It is. That's one of the few movies where the sequel is like just as good as the first one.
For sure.
It's you won't be disappointed.
I would disagree. I've seen it many times. I just don't ever remember. The first one is too iconic for me. So
Oh, my
that's
favorite.
the one I had on VHS growing up. So I never had the
There's
second one.
there's definitely a lot of like the brick part. Bren, have you seen that movie?
Well,
Home Alone 2?
I've definitely seen him, but I haven't seen him since I was a kid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a brick part. You know, you'll know what I mean, and it's hilarious. So yeah, I won't ruin that movie for you, Craig, since you have to rewatch it.
Please
Since
do
you
not.
clearly don't remember any
I
of it,
did
you old
spend
man.
the last 2 days watching all 3 Ninja Turtle movies again
Oh.
on HBO. And my dude, Quinn sat there and watched all of them. She loved them, and I'm excited about that.
Craig's like, all right, I like you, child. You're all
Yeah,
right.
you'll do. You'll do.
Yeah, you'll. I don't have to return you. I don't have to drop you off at
Keep
the
this one.
fucking fireplace or the fire station. We're good. All right, let's get
Bro,
to this
this is
matchup.
gonna be a matchup of kings. I'm
Well,
excited to see this.
we have 2 really good matchups this week. We have this one, and then you and Barber.
Yeah. Well, me and Barbara, I think is more of a record situation, whereas this is more of like some big points are gonna be tossed around.
Well, you
Hopefully.
guys could still score some big points too. I mean,
Yeah.
Barber's projected as much as these two, and you're not far behind. So
Yeah. Well,
we'll see.
I
But
like
yeah,
the
anyway, so
Barber
this
slides.
matchup. But yeah, I agree with you. This is one that might be probably one of our higher scoring. I wouldn't be surprised if this turned out to be fucking Justin and Kyle from what was it last year? That like
Yeah, where they both put
160
up
to
a shitload.
170 game or whatever. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
Jonathan Taylor at Tampa Bay. They supposedly still have one of the best run defenses, but it seems like they still get ran over all the fucking time.
yeah, that might be like a Derrick Henry situation though, where
Just
it
can't
don't
stop
matter how
That's what I'm
right, even a
can't stop
bad game,
Jalen.
he's still gonna get 20 points,
Yep.
15 points.
James Robinson in Atlanta, I think, is big.
hmm
Good to see him back. I'm kind of interested to see if he's going to be on a snap count. Have you guys heard if he's going to be on a snap count?
I have not.
James
Limited snap
Robinson, I
count. I'm
haven't
sorry.
heard that he is. I have not heard that he will be.
Okay, that might be big. I'm not a big fan of Miles Sanders, but at the Giants, I don't know. Miles Sanders has been struggling this year. We're going to see if he comes back and plays like he used to. He hasn't really been too hot the
Well, he
last.
did good last week. He did fumble and got in the doghouse, and then they went to Jordan Howard. But
Yeah.
then Howard got injured, so then they went back to Sanders. So it'll just be interesting. Like if he fumbles again,
Oh,
is
see, I
he?
didn't know that. That'll be
Yeah,
good for
is he
volume.
good? Because he's had a fumbling problem like all year. Like I'm pretty sure he might not have lost a fumble in every game, but I'm pretty sure he's fumbled in every game
Yeah.
that he's played in this year. So, but I mean, he still had like what was it, 16 carries for like 90 yards or something like that. So,
Right.
and right now the Eagles are just running the ball like crazy. So
Right.
it's just a matter of him finding the end zone because he hasn't done that yet this year. But that's where Shane could get a huge advantage. Is like if Sanders gets like 90 yards and that's it, but then Robinson gets a tutty or two, and you know he could
Just
easily
washes that
outscore
all
him by
out.
10 points. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's been kind of Justin's weakness all year is that RB2 spot.
True. Very true.
And then now he lost AJ Brown, which AJ Brown's been kind of hit and miss. So you
Yeah, I gotta
slide
give
in
props
another.
to Waddle's been crazy all fucking year too, man. Well, I mean, he's off and on, but he seems to play him every time he's hitting.
Well, he's been really good against really bad teams, like the really
Okay,
bad defenses. So like, and I'm not saying he's gonna suck, because like you play who you play,
sure.
and so like, but this will be a good test to see like how good Waddle really is.
Yeah, I think you're
I
right. It seems to be anytime he versus a stout defense, he's going under 10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so but Shane might not need him if Samuel does what he does, and
and Debo's a
Hunter
guy.
Henry at tight end that's a risky one. If he could get 2 touchdowns or he can get 30 yards.
Yeah, because he only gets a couple catches a game, so it's like you gotta
Right.
hope he turns it into a touchdown.
Yeah, that's definitely sucks that Kelsey's on a bye week for him. That hurts him a lot. You see
Yeah,
how weak
but
that team is without. Well, his team not even weak. I lied. I'm sorry. It's the wrong word. You see how different his team looks without Kelsey in the
looks
lineup. Yeah,
right. Yeah. But he does have a kicker that'll probably get like 30 points. Nick Folk.
right.
So yeah, I mean it's tough, but like, Kyle Pitts hasn't been that great either though, with pretty much no weapons there. We'll see if Cordero Patterson comes back. That might help him a little bit. But also Jacksonville's defense has actually been kind of good this year.
Playing to win.
Like, yeah, like they're not great, but they're like middle of the pack, which is you weren't expecting that from them.
Sure.
So, and this team has been awful in the Falcons, so I can totally see this being like a 13-10 game, and if that's the case, how much production is Pitts gonna have? I'm not saying he can't have good production, but
Right.
it's gonna be tough, And then Claypool, he's been kind of hit and miss this year.
Yeah,
Um, so I have to go Shane just because he has some better matchups and I think more likely producers at his positions.
Sure.
So I'm going Shane.
Oh man,
Ike went Shane
the
as well.
metrics are telling me. Yeah, the metrics are speaking to me, and they're definitely saying Shane, but I don't. Brennan, you go. I gotta think this over because this hurts my head. I
So
think
you remember how
this
you
one's
went for
tough because
I think DJ Moore is gonna outplay Waddle. Kyle Pitts can probably match Henry. I mean, if not outplay him. But
right, but then I mean my thing would be I think the RBs is where
that's true.
Shane has an advantage. If
You
like
know
those
what?
two, if
No, go ahead. I agree. Keep going.
no, I was just gonna say like if Waddle and Moore could kind of somewhat even out, and same with Pitts and Henry, and then like I said, I think Shane has a better kicker right now, just fantasy wise.
Right.
He is the number one kicker, so if those are even relatively close, I think Shane could easily make it up just with possibly the James Robinson and Miles Sanders comparison.
Right.
And then even though Josh Allen got 30, Jalen Hurts can easily get 30, or close to it. So
I think
I
I'm gonna.
guess it's just
I think I'm gonna
more
go with
likely
Justin.
outcome.
I think I'm going with Justin.
Justin.
Yeah, I think I like the Patriots, Tennessee. I think that could be big. Um, Game script with the Giants with Jalen Hurts and Sanders. I can see Sanders doing pretty well. Obviously, we all know the Giants can chuck the ball and score touchdowns, but I don't know, man. That's a rivalry game, isn't it? Isn't Philly and New
yeah,
York? That's a rivalry
very
Yeah.
game.
big
So
rivalry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
division
yeah.
game. Yeah.
Um. So that I'm just gonna bet against Philly on this one. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Justin wins it. Deebo Samuel at Minnesota. Minnesota's. It's gonna be rough, man. I'm just gonna go with Justin. The heart says Justin, so sometimes you can't listen.
Sometimes, yeah.
You gotta listen to the heart.
For
Wow.
me,
So not
go
only
ahead.
are you not listening to Shane's advice and using facts only, but
Yes.
then you're not even picking Shane.
Yeah.
That's a
That's a double
double.
whammy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a double fuck you,
Gotta follow
man.
my heart.
So,
Justin's due. And I
right. I
can't
mean,
root.
Justin has good defense, but I think Shane's offense prevails in this one for sure.
I don't know about
Okay.
that. Defense wins games. Defense
That's
wins
true.
championships.
But Justin has a good defense, not a elite defense.
It's true. It's true.
But anyway, sorry, Brent. Go ahead.
Now for this one, for me, it comes down to like Justin did hit his combo, right, where Diggs caught a touchdown from Allen,
Yeah.
so that's always huge. And they both kind of have like interesting starts where he's got Miles Sanders and Claypool and Pitts they're all kind of iffy, and then on Shane's side you got Waddle, Henry. So and then I'm still leaning towards Shane though.
Mm-hmm.
His team's just produced week in and week out. He's got some pretty good matchups, and so I'm just gonna lean towards Shane on this one. He comes back, takes a
Yeah.
victory.
Father time, please take him down.
I mean, hey, I'm just looking at it as he's getting all his wins out now.
Yeah, that's true.
In the playoffs, he's gonna shit the bed.
I hope for that as well. I'm
like
taking that.
Guaranteed it.
Yeah, like he usually does.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna get the bye week. He's gonna put up like 180 points, and then in the second week of the playoffs, he's gonna put up like 70. And he's gonna lose to Nate in the second round, and Nate's only gonna put up like 79. It's gonna be great. Then he can talk about, defense is not a real thing.
Right? And he's sitting there crying.
Right, eating his kale and stuff,
Ugh.
So, all right, let's go to the other good matchup. Let's go to Craig and Barber. So yeah, I agree, Craig. Like especially record-wise, this is a good matchup. But like I said, I think you have some pieces. I know you're projected 12 less than him right now, but I think you have some pieces that'll get you back in the running, like to say. You know what I mean?
Tyrod Taylor, that's no bueno.
Matchup. Huge
Mhm.
matchup right here. They're both 7-4, fighting for that lead of the division. And Matt's that redheaded fuck who beat me last week. Craig, put him down. Put him down. Put that boy down.
I know. I need you to win, Craig. I need you to win because even if I lose, that means I'm still only one game back. Like, I need you to win.
Yeah, I need to win. I need Shane to lose, and I need to win, so we're within a game of each other, so I can have a chance at winning the division.
Right.
This is a scary week for me because I'm not supposed to bet against Matt.
Did get 21 points though, so that's pretty.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I think he used up all his luck in one day. I think he took all his Thanksgiving luck, put it into Daniel Carlson because that's insane. That's QBs that can't put up 21 points.
I do have a question for you, Craig.
Yeah.
Why did you go the Lions defense? Now, this is not like they got negative points for you. They still got 6, but
yeah,
I'm just curious why you went the Lions defense. I know Arizona's on a bye, so obviously you can't play them. But
correct.
I mean, I don't know.
Honestly, you want to know my thought process? I've been very busy, and I woke up and it was Wednesday, and I'm like, I fucking play waivers. And so I went and I looked at all the available teams, and I'm like, oh, it'd be fun to pick up the Lions and play them versus a Chicago team Chicago has multiple injuries on both sides of the ball, and so they're banged up. And then obviously it being a Thanksgiving Day, I don't have any hope that the Lions were going to change anything, but those boys play a little harder, a little different. So, I just kind of picked it up initially to kind of be able to watch it and have some stake in the game. And I wasn't too worried because looking at the other matchups that were available on the waiver wire at the time, nothing was screaming to me like, yeah, go in that direction. So,
no, that's fair.
I had watched the previous week with Nathan. Sorry, I did. The previous week we were at the hotel. We watched, and the defense plays all right. The defense isn't the worst, so obviously we got some playmakers out there. They got plenty of turnovers.
Right.
So yeah, it was kind of just a long shot, something to enjoy on a Thursday, and I'm
Yeah, I
honestly
mean,
glad they got me 6 points.
right. Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. They didn't kill you, so
I'm
it's
more
not like.
pissed they were at 8, and that field goal put me down to 6. So that
Yeah.
trash ass call, it just fucking trash Lions, dude. I was gonna be more excited with 8, but 6
Right.
is cool. Not very good many
Yeah.
matchups, but yeah. I
Yeah.
also was kind of cocky. I was like, I got 7 wins. I can give a shit if I lose this week, but I'd rather have my full squad. I've survived this long to where I'm gonna be having plenty of contention games where I have a full squad of healthy starters. So,
Right.
um,
Although, did you see that report that they're probably gonna rest Zeke for a
that
week or
doesn't
two?
surprise me. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. He's been having that knee issue. Fucking
Hmm.
Pollard is a stud, so I can imagine them sitting him back for a couple weeks and letting Pollard run all over the place. So, see how it goes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, like I said, I think Tom Brady. I think he'll probably have a game against Indy, because they have a really good run defense. Indy does, but passing is where you can really get them.
Right.
And I think Harris, his that one game. I don't know if you remember that one game. He had like 20 targets or whatever, 19 targets. He had like 14 catches or whatever. That was against Cincinnati. So
Nice.
I'm not saying he's going to do that again, but he could have a pretty good game just with yardage alone, in that game.
Right.
And Montgomery only getting 9 points especially against that Lions defense is really good for you. Keenan Allen's really stepped it up lately. Um, we'll see
Yeah,
about
he's an elite
Marquise
receiver. Of
Brown.
course he did. Assholes, all
Yep.
of you who doubted him. Everyone
Okay,
doubting
Eminem.
Keenan
Fuck
Allen.
all
Yeah,
you who doubt me. He's an elite wide receiver, and I'll say it proudly.
he's been.
Um,
He could have been better. He could have been better this year. That's all right.
yeah. No, he started off slow, kind of like a lot of
But
people
he
did,
is consistently at the last 4 games and putting up over 10, 12,
Right,
13.
and so I think especially if the Rams decide to shadow Adams with Ramsey, I'm not saying Adams is gonna get like 0 points, but it might limit him where he might not get like 20 points. It
Yeah.
makes it easier for Allen or Brown to match him. And then Pittman's been kind of hit and miss. It depends. He's been not good lately, but that's because Jonathan Taylor's scoring 10 touchdowns a game.
Right.
So depends what happens there.
Yeah, see, when I
Fan
look at that too, like, I don't know, like, dude, I was wanted to trade you Marquise Brown, and I just look at him and dude, the boy gets so many fucking targets, dude.
targets,
Yeah,
yep.
he like, and once if all he has to do is start catching just a couple of those, and he'll just be a monster. So I
Right.
have a lot of hope. Obviously, he gets defended, double teamed a lot, and shit like that. But like, it's hard to look at someone who gets that much volume as a receiver and be like, nah, because there's so
Right.
many receivers people are starting that get like 5 to 8 targets a game, and if they don't turn those into something, they don't get shit.
Right.
Pittman's one of those people.
Yeah, exactly. He's not the use. I mean, he'll have a game or two where he'll get 10 targets or whatever, but he's usually in that 6 to 8 range. And if he doesn't score a touchdown, he'll get you 6 to 7 points, like to say.
Right,
And
right.
so Andrews, he probably has the advantage there. Um, and then Patterson, especially if he's healthy, that could be a big boost for him. But Lockett's kind of been stepping it up lately
Watkins,
too.
every week it's dude a step forward, bro. It's coming back. You guys just
Oh,
wait.
you can't say every week. It's been 2 weeks. Give it
Dude,
one more week
no,
if he
week 8,
balls up.
Jacksonville came out, did 20.2 with that no-name motherfucker.
Hmm.
Week 10, he sucked. Week 11,
Yeah, and then he had
but the
13.
targets were there. He had
So,
8 targets.
so
He had 8
he's
targets.
Tyler Lockett being Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, he hope he balloons, man. But he week 10 versus Green Bay, he did have 8 targets, which was the most he's seen since obviously week 5, if you don't count the Jacksonville game where they just kept pelting him with
Right.
losing.
Done. It is interesting though that you got Harris and Boswell, the kicker for Pittsburgh, because it's just kind of like you want Harris to score, but then you know what I mean. But I get it. You're kind of
Yeah,
if he doesn't score, hopefully they kick a field
Not
goal.
so. Yeah. Well, Pittsburgh is. I mean, if you Harris is getting points based off volume for the most part. There's not a whole lot of converting into touchdown.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh has a
that's fair.
big issue converting. That's just another thing where I'm just playing the kicker. Tennessee sucks dick, and that was my kicker previously, so they can't even get right now. But yeah, so I mean, you always look for those teams that can kind of put it in that range and can contend, so they still want to kick field goals and not get blown out. So I mean, we'll run with it for a week and see how it goes. But yeah, I would agree, not ideal to have both of them
Yeah.
at the same
But
time.
I mean, hey, I was doing that for a while where I was playing Sanders and Tyler Bass, so
Right.
and that was kind of my thing is that was a high powered offense, and if Sanders doesn't score, hopefully they're kicking a field goal.
Right.
Like to say. So, but so I'm assuming you're going yourself, Craig.
Dude, so I don't know. Should I? Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to go against Mixon. I really don't know. I don't know if the gods are gonna smite me.
Oh man, what a conundrum you
That's
have
a
right now.
conundrum if I've
I'm gonna
ever
go
seen
ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and say Matt Barber wins this one.
Oh, okay,
one.
okay, I
Someone's trying to
like it.
keep their record up in this.
Right,
Yeah, I'm gonna lose this league. I might as well win something up, dude.
Right?
jeez. Who you going, Bren?
I'm going Craig.
Yeah,
Craig. All right.
I'll have faith in you, buddy.
I think I have a good chance. Trust me.
I'm going Craig as well. And Ike went Barber. So let's go to
Fucking
Bren
dog.
versus Funk.
Fucking
I should have
dog.
been sticking with the dog. Good damn.
What are we going? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
let's Bren versus Funk.
Got it. Every time I look at Brent's team on this scoreboard on ESPN, it never gives me his top performers. Is that because they haven't played yet? It's because they haven't played yet. Never mind.
Yeah, it's because he hasn't played any. No one's played yet.
Why are just people playing? What's going on?
Looks like he has everybody but 3 people going at 1:00
We will know your fate soon enough.
Pretty
Right.
much. Well, I mean, Funk has like the opposite. He has like a lot of his team going at. Well, he has half and half.
Yeah, same.
Half going at 1, half
And
going
then
at 4.
Cream Hunt, I think, is active now. So
Yeah. So are you gonna
keep that
put
in mind.
are you
Fuck
gonna
yeah.
put him in instead of Bourne or Judy?
Obviously. What kind of a question is that?
I kind of like. I don't know
Who
because
the
it's
fuck
like
is Kendrick Bourne? Why is he even in your lineup? No, I'm kidding. I see his points.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I just have this feeling he's gonna have a hot week. I don't know why, but
Okay.
I just
He's
do.
had some
But
really hot weeks previously, I see.
I probably will end up starting Kareem Hunt. Once I heard he
Yeah.
was active, I got excited. So
And I
That
like
is
the
interesting.
gamble with the Houston defense too, especially since Funk's team only got 1 point from
Yeah.
Dallas's defense. So you could kind of take that gamble. But it's not like a huge game because Zach Wilson's back and he's been a turnover machine.
Dude, I just feel like the Jets always score points.
I like the matchup, and Houston had a pretty good week last week, and they beat up on Miami defensive wise. So I think they've got their identity a little bit more, and that's gonna allow the game to be manageable. So yeah.
Damn, Brent, it really sucks that you couldn't get CD Lamb, that he
Oh,
couldn't
I
play this
know.
week.
I
Because
know.
I don't know, it's like I like your running backs better than his, but then outside of Evans, like I feel like Evans and Jefferson, or Evans and one of his wide receivers evens out, like to say, of Chase and Jefferson.
Sure.
But then I think his other ones have an advantage over you. Moore and Bourne could be kind of a wash, I think. So it just makes it hard because I felt like if you had CD Lamb, I felt like I'd pick you no problem. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, so it makes it tough. I mean, Aaron Rodgers against the Rams. Aaron Rodgers has been balling this year. I mean, really, outside of like one game, no matter who he's facing, he's getting you at least like 23 to 25 points, like to say. Except for the 1 week he faces me, he puts up almost 40. Of course, But yeah, so I don't know. I'm going Bren. I'm going with my heart on this.
I would have to
Bren.
say, like, you're running. It's exciting to see Hunt come back because Austin Eckler, Saquon Barkley, and Kareem Hunt is a stud lineup.
Right.
I'm jealous because I really want to run through running backs, and I fucked that up this year early, giving away Robinson. I like that a lot about your team. I think what sucks is Gronkowski is going to continue to be huge. I don't think he's going to have very many games under 10 points the rest of the year. He's going to be huge. So I think he's got you there. And then obviously Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are two. They're so good.
Well, the thing about Chase though is the last I think it's hold on, let me pull it up. The last 3 games he's only had 32, 49, and 32 receiving yards.
But still, it's like,
So
he's still getting you 11.6, 11.5.
well, right, but I mean with what he was doing before, like if I was Bren, I'd take 11.6 from Chase.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You
Sure.
know,
I want Burrow to have a good game, though. That's that tough part.
well,
Burrow,
right. At that point,
Burrow has a good game. Chase has
well,
a
right,
good
and at
game.
that point, you hope Chase is having one of those 3 for
Yeah.
39, no touchdown, but then Burrow's hitting Boyd and Higgins and all of them for touchdowns.
Yep.
Yeah, I know this is a tough one to pick. Yeah,
I'm not. Jerry Jeudy at the Chargers is a great matchup, and he can really come alive. But I just don't. I don't think.
I think that's your riskiest play right
Yeah,
there,
we haven't
Brent.
seen enough from Jerry Jeudy since he's been back.
Just that offense
even if
in
you
general.
might be able to plug in Kendrick Bourne over Jeudy and have your big play there.
Hunt, yeah, and then have Hunt.
It's hard because Darrell Henderson is obviously a stud, and Elijah Mitchell, is he even playing? Is he back with a healthy finger now?
I think he's playing.
Okay, I know he's not that. Just based on game script, he might do all right. But Darrell Henderson's a champ. Oh man, I gotta go with Rodgers at the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Bren as long as he starts Kareem Hunt at his flex. I have faith that
I'll do it just for you,
three
dude.
stud running backs will win you the majority of anything. Justin
That
Jefferson
is a
at San Francisco is it's a decent he could get shut down or not produce as high. And like you said, Jamar Chase at Pittsburgh might not be producing well.
that is a clean sweep for Bren. I picked Bren as well. So
Let's go. I got the dog on my side.
So let's go to the last matchup, which is Nate versus Mac. The Brucey the Cake Eater versus Toxic Tart. This is another tough one. Both projected. They got the interesting quarterback matchup on Monday night.
Right, that's pretty cool.
Who is it? Nate got balled out on Thanksgiving. He had a real good Thanksgiving. He had Hawkinson hit 11, and then Renfro 17.6. Unfortunately for
Las Vegas, dark horsing the shit out of people.
Fortunately for Mac, Waller got hurt. Sanders is being Sanders.
Fucking waiver wire trash, bro.
All right, fine, you win.
Wow, I hate you. How dare you?
But I still win because I never dropped them.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Read between the lines.
Technicality, bro.
Sure, buddy. What a loophole.
I still never dropped them.
What a loophole.
And he's not waiver wire trash because he's still not on the waiver wire.
Oh, trust me, he's on his way out, brother. He's on his way out.
I don't know.
You know how long? Before the end of the year, he knows where he belongs.
You know how long Mac had Tyler Boyd in his lineup and he didn't do nothing, so he might not be on his way out.
At least Boyd had like a big year last year, so like, I don't know.
Yeah. So, anyways, to the matchup. I might have to go Nate on this one. I don't know.
I agree.
It depends on what Metcalf does.
I gotta go with Nate on this one.
I think it's dude.
I mean, you get 17 points from Hunter Renfro, you're golden.
Hawkinson finally got some love.
Yep.
Devontae
Well,
Smith has been nothing but a baller and going to continue to ball. What a great trade on his part to get him, secure him in his
He got
flex.
super lucky that Waller got hurt.
He did, yeah. Waller and Sanders putting up a combined 8 sucks for fucking Mac. Heineke versus Seattle does not sound like. I'm looking. I bet you Heineke puts up like 14 to 15 points.
Now I believe Aaron Jones is back and playing.
No way.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
he's been
but
a limited practice participant the past 2 days. So
I don't think he's playing.
I'd still be okay putting Dylan in over Jones because Dylan's been out producing Jones
Same.
anyway.
I'm just saying, like it maybe takes away from some of Dylan's.
Muddies the water.
Right, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised he's sitting Gibson.
I'm not, dude.
A little bit,
Gibson is he's a bust, bro. He does not produce unless they get to the fucking 1 yard line and he falls in. Which is if you look at all his fucking touchdowns, they get to the 1 and he falls in. Like that 20-point game, 2 touchdowns, 14 yards, 2 reception on 14 yards, 64 yards. I'm sorry, still not
I mean,
ideal.
I guess it just depends what you think because Seattle's been playing shitty recently, so they could get in that game script where they get to that point and he puts up 70 yards and 2 touchdowns.
right, because like Melvin Gordon has a tougher matchup there.
Right, or even AJ Dillon, especially if Aaron Jones is playing.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't blame him, but I would probably play him.
I wouldn't completely disagree either because Melvin Gordon really shines in games where they get ahead and they just feed Gordon the ball over what's his face. So it's probably I would probably agree. I might start Gibson over Gordon, but Gordon's been nothing but good too, and he's a top 20 running back still.
Right? Yeah. I don't blame him.
So
yeah, I think he's
Like I said, I would honestly maybe put Gibson in over Smith. It's more of what I was saying. I wasn't saying.
No way. You got to ride that wave, bro.
I don't know.
The Eagles have been hot, like Brent's been saying.
The Eagles have been, but okay. So when you were talking about Sanders being trash, you were saying
no.
Waiver wire trash. Sorry, waiver wire trash.
I said I said you have to play him at your flex because of what he's doing is what I said.
Right, but my point was you were saying that 6 targets is not a lot.
It's not.
And yeah, but this is my point with Devontae Smith. They don't pass a lot until he's getting 3, 6, 6, and 6 are his last 4 games in targets.
I see that. Yeah, he averages about 7 targets, which is pretty mediocre.
How is 3, 6, and 6 and 6 averaging 7?
Because you're looking at the last 4 games and not the entire fucking schedule. He's got 9.
Yeah, he has
9, 7, 8.
He has 4. Yeah, and then 4, 6.
Whatever, dude. I get you. I bet you that averages out to like 7. Like, what do you want? Want me to do the math right now?
6 any different than 7? That's all I'm saying. Like,
that's 1 more. What are you talking about?
You were just bashing Pittman for getting 6 to 8 targets, and you're not going to bash Devontae Smith for getting 7, averaging 7 targets. Be consistent here, Craig. Come on.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. You ride the wave is all I'm saying. Like if he's producing, you keep riding the wave. Like Pittman, you play Pittman too. I would not say you don't play Pittman. I just say there's a gamble due to the lack of volume.
Right, and all I'm saying is there's a gamble here too. The last 2 weeks the 2 weeks he produced 20 points. He had 3 touchdowns in those games. So if he's not scoring a touchdown, he's not getting you 10 points. He's only done that twice this year, where he hasn't gotten a touchdown and he's gotten you 10 points. So
this is the same as Emmanuel Sanders. We're both arguing different points now on the same side.
Well, I'm not arguing about Emmanuel Sanders. I'm arguing with all I'm saying is you're taking the same risk. I guess what I'm saying is I would expect Philly to be up in this game where they're not going to be having to pass as much, where they're not going to have to rely on Smith. So if they're already limiting his targets like that, and then if they're going to be up early, like I expect them to be, to me, you're taking more of a risk than the Washington game, where I feel like that game could be closer and you have more of a chance of Gibson being involved and getting that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not arguing for Emmanuel Sanders. Like I'm over him.
For Nate's perspective, what would be your starting lineup for Nate, Josh?
Oh, it'd be what he has, except for I would have Gibson over Smith.
Okay.
That's all I was saying is I would have Gibson over Smith.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious for Nate.
in
So
the flex.
okay. So you would keep AJ Dillon, Melvin Gordon where they're at. You would
Yeah,
actually bump Smith out
right,
and put Gibson in. Interesting.
right.
Yeah,
Just because
I just
if you're talking about that too, Greg, of like riding the wave or whatever, like
sure,
I said, Philly's been running the ball like 70% of the time lately.
sure,
So
yeah, of course.
you're really hoping that the few passes that they throw, that all of them are going to go to Smith, basically. Like,
No, I just think
so
Smith's been hot, and I think he's showing that he
Uh,
can be a stud receiver in this league.
right.
And
right.
I
Well, no,
think,
and that's fair,
they're showing that they're going to continue to utilize him as such. And like you said, they've
right?
been running the ball, so 6 targets might be garnering the majority of targets that are even being thrown. So like
Yeah.
you could look at it
Well,
that
Right.
way
and
too.
it's 6 targets with a ceiling of 20 points, right? Somewhere right around 20 points. And
Sure.
as whereas like Gibson, I don't know if he quite has had the year where you're like,
Well,
oh,
he's
he's gonna
also
get
been
me.
injured too, though.
I know. I'm just saying, based on his
So,
year, I don't have as much faith in
Yeah,
him.
me neither.
But
Yeah.
where I agree is I would be putting in maybe Gibson over one of the other running backs and keeping Smith just for the ceiling. But
because see, I like Gordon because the Chargers, that's where you can beat them, is running the ball, and that's what Denver loves to do, is run the ball. So I would keep him
they
in.
do.
I think he has a safe floor. Like I said, Dylan, even if Jones is back,
Dylan's a
he was
stud.
outproduced. He was
But
Dylan's a
outproducing
stud.
if
Jones
Gordon
anyways.
has a safe floor, I think Gibson does too. So
Right.
and that's
And
where
so
like
like
I would maybe make that switch because they both have that safe floor. Gibson, I think,
right.
has a higher ceiling than Gordon at times, but
Well, and that's where I feel with Smith is I feel he's more touchdown dependent.
I
yeah,
would
Where
say we're looking at 2 players that are extremely similar. If you look at them, they're extremely similar in what games have been successful in and stuff like that too. Like we're splitting hairs at basically like, would you rather have a running back who will most likely garner a majority of the touches and can fall into the end zone, or you want like someone who might be a big play guy in half point PPR and get some
and
reception?
right. I'm
Because if you,
only going over it for Nate's perspective, so that if he gets a
right.
chance to listen to this before the game and hears any of this, it gives him stuff to think about.
oh, for
Well,
sure.
because too, like another like argument of mine to put Gibson in would be the Giants. Their strength on their defense is their cornerbacks. They have two really good cornerbacks in James Bradbury and Adoree Jackson. Now, does that mean he's going to get shut down? No. Doesn't mean he's going to go off? No. But like, if you're going to play the strengths, and especially if the Philly can run on them as much as they want to, like to say, I guess I would take the chances of the person that gets the more touches. So, like Brent said, if, Gibson's going to get 15 touches and Smith's only going to get 6 targets, that's not even guaranteeing he's catching them all, but he's only getting 6 targets. I'll take the person that's getting 15 touches in possibly a game script that might be in his favor as compared to something I see going the opposite way. So it's up to Nate and how he views these matchups going. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And so if he feels like it might be a closer game and that Philly can actually pass all over him and or all over the Giants and stuff, then yeah, keep Smith in for sure. But like I said, that's just my perspective on what I do. But I don't have a problem with him having Smith in.
No, no.
Like I said, I would just kind of
So
ride the wave.
where did we fall on picks for him?
Craig? Who'd you take?
Uh, picked Nathan.
Yeah,
So
same. I
all
went
of
with
us, all of us went Nate
Nate. Okay.
Poor Mac.
again.
He's still got CMC too, and Cop, dude. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's not a super easy one, but with
Well,
it's kind of like we can see what had already happened on Thanksgiving, so it's a little bit of a easier guess
right.
for
Well,
me.
for
Yeah.
me, for that one, it also depends Metcalf because
Dude, yeah,
you know,
we're waiting to see what happens. Like,
right? Because with Seattle, like Metcalf has had a couple, kind of like with Lockett, like a couple of boom weeks, and then a couple of weeks where he's been. You don't know what you're getting with them.
Yeah, I think we gotta
Especially
wait another couple weeks to see how Russell Wilson really settles back in from that injury to see if it's gonna put
right.
anybody on
Because
that
that's the
shit
thing
bus.
that could screw Nate over too. Is look at Wilson, 5.64,
That
8.48. So
yeah, that
if he
does
puts
work.
up another performance like that, that hurts Mac because Metcalf probably isn't going off, but it hurts Nate even more.
100%.
Because even if it's trash, or garbage time, Taylor Heineke's probably going to put up I think his floor is probably like 15
Oh,
points,
okay.
but he has the potential to put up 25 points. I mean,
I might be overvaluing Seattle's defense. It is at Washington, which helps a lot too.
right. And no, he's for sure has the potential to put up 13, 14 points or lower, but he also has the potential because it depends kind of does he not throw a couple in because what's his face? Antonio Gibson falls in the end zone a couple times, where
Sure.
it just vultures a couple touchdowns or whatever, or Stutz, or he's kind of an unknown too, where he could. But Patrick Mahomes hasn't been much better, honestly. He's tanked Mac
Right?
a couple times this year, so it's definitely a toss up. They both have interesting defenses, streaming defenses. Um,
Yeah, I'm not
Tennessee
100%
against
sure about
New
those.
England,
They
yeah.
must have missed out.
I could see both of them getting them 3 points each.
Right? Those are some
You
rough
know?
defenses right there.
So I kind of count those as a wash, But like I said, I think Mac has a higher ceiling but a lower floor. Where I feel, especially with the production he's already gotten, Nate has the higher floor but a lower ceiling. If
Watch
that
Cup
makes sense.
come out, get like 50 fucking points at Green Bay.
Dude, that wouldn't doubt me, or that wouldn't surprise me.
Right. That would not surprise me either.
Right.
And I
So,
gotta give props to Mac. Great name changes throughout the year. I applaud.
Yeah, I'm really
yeah,
loving the
props.
activity from him. I'm
Yeah,
loving
he's getting into it. It makes me happy.
If
it.
only Funk would change his,
Mhm.
fucking. Ooh, I'm the best ever, even though I came in last place.
Poor Funk.
Oh goodness.
So, but all right, boys, that wraps that up.
Bada bing, bada boom, boys. Let's
Bada
open up the
bang,
books.
bada boom.
That was a great podcast.
Yeah, that was fun. I had a good time with that one.
Yeah, I'm really starting to think of us as the fantasy gods, dude. These boys are gonna start praying to us every week.
For real, dude. For real.
Bring me pod. Bring
in the in
me the
the
pod, boys.
in the off season, we might have to think about taking it public.
Dude, now you're getting
Get,
crazy.
getting some money off this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see us making big bucks.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, we can retire. I can live
We'll have to have
on
a
an island.
website that gives a background so people can just read a quick, insert of who we are and who the fuck
Right.
we're talking about. Because who
Mm-hmm.
the fuck is Shane? That's all.
Yeah.
They talk about this guy every week.
We
And
could
they click and they just have a profile of Shane. They're like,
This fuck,
oh, I
right?
get it. I
Right.
get it.
That's
we could
hilarious.
be like the unnecessary roughness fantasy football podcast just because we're so vulgar and stuff and just that way it's like it's in the name. It's
Yeah,
not
right.
nice. It's not suitable for children. If you don't like
No.
it, don't listen.
That's funny.
So, but yeah, Brent, if you want to send this over to me right away so I can
Yes. Yes, I'll
work
get this
on it
over
and
right away.
get it loaded up.
Dope, dope.
Brad, hop over if you